Persona ASMR, and I am using my camera this time to stream. So hopefully it'll look better. Today we are going to be talking about my favorite topic, video games. Video games. I love video games. And I think it's the perfect way to take your mind off of everything that is going on in the world, in your life, and to just relax and escape for a little bit. So, I hope that you guys will join me in today's video because we are going to have a lot of fun. Hope you guys are all doing very well this evening, and I hope that you're dealing with everything that's going on in the best way possible. Obviously, that's not what we're here to do. That's not what this channel is about. My job is to help you relax and to get away from all of that for a time, for a period of time. And what better way than video games? Am I right? So, today, what we are going to be doing is making a tier list. Ooh, yeah, we're going to be making a tier list of my favorite video games of all time. And I have never made a tier list before. I have found one on the internet, and I tried to find one that had a lot of video games on it. I think this one in particular that I found has about 500 games to choose from. I wanted to just find as many as possible just so that it covers a wide range of games that I've played so that I can actually have something to talk about. Otherwise, it wouldn't be good. So, I found one, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I am live streaming this for those of you who are going to tune in afterwards, so if someone pops in and starts talking to me and I start to respond to them, you will know why. But other than that, I will be treating this like a regular video for the most part, unless someone talks and interacts with me. Let me take a sip of my tea. But that will be the goal for today, a tier list where we will be ranking my favorite video games. There's a lot on this list that I have here. I'll share my screen in a moment. But we will be looking at games and ranking them between God tier, perfect, pretty good, good, okay, boring, bad, trash, which is, that's a little extreme, but it's there. Not done yet, and don't know. So that's what we shall be using as our grading system here. Kind of a little bit too many grades, I would say. Good and pretty good probably could be one. Okay and boring. You know, bad, boring, kind of the same thing. I guess, it depends, but, bad and trash, kind of the same. So, I don't know that we need this many, but we will just work with it, We'll just roll with it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Cool. Let's begin, shall we? I'm going to share my screen here, and we can just get started. Okay. So, as you can see here, we've got a nice little chart, and we will be ranking all these games that we have here. And we have a lot of games, as you can see. And I will just be completely transparent with you guys. I have not played through a lot of these, so we are just going to probably skip through a ton of these because there's more than I need. But that was kind of the goal, is to have these games many of these games available so it can cover all of the games that I've played. Hopefully it does. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. But yeah, let's get started, shall we? So, right off the bat, I have played Age of Empires 2, but I haven't played it too much. But from the amount that I played, I thought it was pretty good. I'm gonna put it in the pretty good category for now. I know some people might say it's a perfect game. I can't put it as perfect because I didn't play it enough. But I enjoyed it for that period of time that I was playing it. So, we'll put it there for now. There's also Age of Empires, the first one. Never played it, so I'm gonna list it as don't know. But I've heard good things about that one as well. Of course, Age of Empires 3, I haven't played that either, so I can't say. I'll leave that alone for now. And I'll skip a bunch of these that I just know nothing about whatsoever because there's just no point in even talking about them if I haven't played. So let's just skip to some game that maybe I haven't played but I'm familiar with. Apex Legends. I thought this was okay. Apex Legends. Decent game. Fun, but not really my cup of tea, honestly, because once you've played a first-person shooter battle royale, it's just not my thing personally. I tried Fortnite. I just like the constant action, and in battle royales, I think that it just takes too long to get into an encounter with someone. That's why Call of Duty Warzone is kind of not my thing. It's fun to play once in a while, but I don't really have the patience to wait 40 minutes to encounter someone to get into a fight. It takes too long, and that's kind of what my problem with Apex Legends is. That's the main thing, and it had potential to be better than Fortnite, and I don't know what happened really. So, welcome guys, welcome. Just to give you guys a quick refresher here, today is all about ranking my favorite video games of all time. Found myself a nice tier list, has over 500 games, so hopefully it'll cover everything, and we will just be ranking all of these games in order of God tier all the way down to trash. That's the system, the grading scale they're using. Trash. Not my words, theirs. So we'll just be ranking these video games based on their grading system within their parameters, and we'll go from there. And I hope you like the camera because I'm using my camera to stream, and I think it looks a lot better personally. So back to my live screen here. Okay, so as I was saying, Age of Empires 2, I really enjoyed it. Didn't play it enough to say it's perfect, so I can't put it there. Apex Legends was okay. Never played Age of Empires 1 or 3, so not going to comment there. This game, I don't even know what it's called, Plague Tale or something. This is free on Game Pass, and I've been eyeing it. I kind of want to play it for just to say that I did, because the story is apparently good, but it's very short from what I've heard. So we'll have to come back to this one when I'm updated on it. But all of these Planetfall games, have not played them, but I have been interested in trying them because they're also, I think one of them was on Game Pass, but I don't remember for sure. Okay, bunch of games I've never played, so let's zoom past these. We've got the Assassin's Creed game. I don't know which one this is. Let's assume this is the first Assassin's Creed. That game was damn near perfect, obviously, as you guys know. I don't remember that much of it, but from what I remember, it was the first of its kind, and I think that's something to consider when you're ranking these games. It's not just your own personal preference, but what the game achieved. So I'll put Assassin's Creed there. I think it's the first one. I can't tell. It looks like it says 2, but it might be the first one. I don't know. Anyway, Assassin's Creed. There's a lot of these apparently that I've never played, huh? Oh, this is the first one. Never mind. Let's put this one here, and I've never played this one, so I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to see the picture there, but okay. Anyway, but like I was saying, Assassin's Creed, the first one, damn near perfect, first of its kind, innovative, different. So I think it deserves to go into the perfect category. Cannot put it in God tier because I, never finished it, and I don't remember too much of it, so I can't put it in God tier because of that. But I know some people would put it there. So, where are we? Lost Ark. I played this for a little bit. I thought it was okay. I'm sure it's, better than I think it is. I just haven't dedicated too much time to the game. Basically, you're on an island and you're trying to survive with dinosaurs surrounding you. These dinosaurs are trying to kill you, and there's other players around you if you're playing online, and there's all sorts of things you can do, like build weapons, build yourself shelters. I think you can craft guns at some point, so it gets pretty crazy from what I've seen, but haven't played it enough to really rank it too highly, so I'll leave it as okay. Then we have, I'm trying to find one of them that I played recently. Valhalla doesn't seem to be on here, I think. But there's Odyssey, and I've played Odyssey only for a brief moment. I thought it was good. Can't rank it higher because I didn't play it too much, so we'll have to just leave it there for now. But that's, during the era of the Roman Empire, you're an assassin. I think it's the first game where you can play as a female. I don't know if that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think it is. But the combat was fun for me. I liked Valhalla a little bit better, but that's because I played it more. So, but I digress. What else we've got here? A bunch of Battlefield games that I've never played. A bunch of Batman games that I've never played. Let's see here. Battlefield, Bioshock. Okay. I have this. I have the Bioshock games for the PlayStation 3. I have the collection of all of the games. These pictures are terrible. Can't even read the name properly. But I've never played them. I don't know why. I just never have. But from what I've heard, the story is fantastic. So I definitely should get around to playing it at some point in time. But time will tell. Bloodborne. Oh, you already know where this is going. That's going to be God tier, and I haven't even finished it. But Bloodborne is one of those games that is definitely one of a kind. It's like Dark Souls, but it's in sort of a more gothic, almost punk, steampunk sort of type of environment, where the mechanics of the game are very much like Dark Souls, where you are trying to fight and mow through enemies, and the difficulty is just absolutely brutal. It takes some time to pick up, but Bloodborne is definitely a God tier game in my opinion. Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I am just combing through a host of games, over 500, to pick out my all-time favorites. So just want to say thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope that you can relax and just forget about everything that's going on for the next hour or two, however long this takes us to get done. But I digress. Let's get back to it. All right, Battlefield. Lots of Battlefield. got all the Call of Duties. I don't even know, to be honest, how to rank these Call of Duties, because like you play one Call of Duty game, you've kind of played them all at this point, you know? You've got, okay, well, I can definitely point out Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. I don't remember, like, I can't differentiate between the two. I definitely liked one of them quite a bit. I think Black Ops 2 was good. I don't remember if it was this one or Black Ops 3. There was one of them I used to play with my friend a lot. I really enjoyed it, but I don't really remember. I can't say whether it was 2 or 3. They're all kind of the same at some point, but I've always liked these games because I just like the Nazi zombie mode. Probably shouldn't have said that first word, should I? Oh, I don't get demonetized now. YouTube's very sensitive, but that mode is fun because I just like plowing through zombies. Fun times. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 I think was my favorite Call of Duty game that I played, that I can remember. Here we go. It might have been Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, which to me were like perfect. Just because like I have so many memories of me and my friend just playing in like the late 2000s, like 2009, 2010, just joining a match, getting into a multiplayer match and just playing through, you know, every map possible and a bunch of matches back. That's probably, I would say it's probably the last time that I really was having fun with Call of Duty. That and Black Ops. Like Black Ops, I was still enjoying Call of Duty, but it was like, you know, you could tell I was kind of like starting to get tired of it as I was getting older. The novelty, I think, was wearing off a little bit, you know. Hello. We won't tell. Wait, I forgot what he said. What's the secret? Someone fill me in. What else do we have? There's a lot of Call of Duties. I'm just gonna skip through these Call of Duties because like they're all kind of the same, let's be honest, and I can't tell them apart. I've played a bunch of them. I played World at War. That was you know, I remember that one. That was like that was okay, you know, like it was fun because like I like the World War II sort of environment, but I don't really you know, I don't really remember much from that game besides that. So hello, hola, I'm good, man. How are you? How's everything going for you? I'm streaming with my new camera, so I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I've got a nice streaming setup. Oh, yeah, that word. Not the word that you're thinking, everyone else. It's the word from World War II. No, if YouTube is allowing creators to say that. And I was talking about the zombie mode in Call of Duty. But yeah, I've been good, man. I hope you're doing well. I was just saying earlier, let's all relax for the next hour or two while we talk about some video games. It'll be a fun time. Okay, I'm back in focus. Cool. I got a new setup and I'm feeling good. Ready to party. So let's have fun with it, shall we? Getting into this whole streaming thing has been a trip, but I've been doing it quite a bit now, so especially on Twitch. So, okay. So, where were we? Borderlands. I haven't played Borderlands enough to really make a comment there, to be honest. Bioshock Infinite, I'll also put that there. Haven't played it nearly enough. Bunch of these Call of Duties, you know, just don't know. I don't know what to say about those. You've got the Civilization games. I've always wanted to play, just never got around to the Civilization stuff. But I've heard good things about these games, so they are on my list actually to play. Dark Souls 3. I don't know if I should put this at not done yet since I'm playing through it, or if I should put it straight to God tier because that's kind of what I want to do. I think I will. I think I will. Nice, nice. What are you drawing? I can't draw myself. I'm actually terrible at drawing, so this is about as artistic as I can get. But yeah, so Dark Souls 3 is a fantastic game. I am up to the 6th boss, I think, and I'm actually, funny enough, planning to stream it on Twitch this Thursday. Twitch.tv/Valdar91. But I love Dark Souls 3. I kind of like it a little bit more than Bloodborne, but I'm also further in it than I am Bloodborne, so it could be that. But Dark Souls 3, if you guys don't know, the Dark Souls series is known for being incredibly punishing. A very punishing game where you are fighting through, enemies that are just brutal. The mechanics of the game, incredibly punishing. You die very easily, and the game goes out of its way to punish you, but it's very rewarding as long as you learn the mechanics, get better, and improve. So Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, nice. I've always been impressed in general when people can draw other people. I've been drawn by people in the past, and I'm just like, how did you do that? I can't even draw a stick figure of myself, if I'm gonna be completely honest. All right, where are we at here? I have not played the first Dark Souls, so I can't say, but it is on my list. Oh, you guys already know we've got Dead by Daylight. I'm gonna put it in a perfect tier. I think God tier is going to be reserved specifically for those legendary type of games, I think, but I'm playing Dead by Daylight on Twitch right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a fun game to just kind of chill out with, so it's always a good time. For those of you who don't know, basically in Dead by Daylight you play as either a survivor or a killer, and you run around a map trying to either escape the map or kill everyone on the map. So there's 4 survivors, 1 killer, and if you're playing a survivor, your job is to repair generators in order to open a door so you can escape. If you're a killer, your job is to kill all the survivors before they can escape, and it's a lot of fun. It is good times for all to be had, I would say. Okay. Dark Souls 2. I have not played this either, but I have heard not so good things about this one, actually. So I might play Dark Souls 1 before I play 2. But we shall see what I decide to do. Let's see here. We've got... I'm trying to pick these games out just from their picture, since they kind of packed in a lot. Detroit Become Human and Destiny. Destiny I played for a little bit. I thought it was good, but it's one of those games where I'm kind of just meh, whatever. It's not a big deal for me. Another one of those first person shooters that, admittedly the guns look pretty cool in the game, but it's not it's nothing crazy, I think. It's it's fun for a couple of hours, but then I get bored of it pretty quickly, so I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess, but it was free for a little bit, so that's why I ended up getting it. Detroit Become Human is up there for me. Perfect game. If you have not played, I highly recommend it. It is like a cinema masterpiece almost, because the storytelling, the motion capture, it's all amazing. Basically, the game takes place in Detroit, and in the year 2050-ish, something like that, Detroit has been brought back to its former glory by sort of an AI revolution, where there is artificial intelligence, and you get to play through the story of 3 different AI characters, and you make choices. So it's like a decision story driven game. So there's branching choices and branching timelines and stuff like that. And it's a really good story about like what it means to be human and what it means to be a machine, and what is it that separates us, and you know, do we count AI in a machine as like a living thing that we treat the same as a person, or are they just like machines to be used as we wish, that type of thing. So it's a very good story, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a story driven game. It's perfect. Okay. There is a buttload of games here. We've got all these Deus Ex Machina games that I've never played but are on my list. Same thing with Devil May Cry. All of these games. Diablo 3 is the only one I've played. I thought it was okay. You know, like, it wasn't a big deal for me. I just thought that it was like, I get bored of like action sort of isometric RPGs very easily, because it's kind of like once you mow through one group of enemies, it becomes a very repetitive gameplay loop for me, and that doesn't really hold my attention for too long. Plus, I thought Path of Exile just did it better, so if I was going to play something, I was going to play Path of Exile instead of Diablo 3. No, that's just how I felt. Or I just play World of Warcraft, you know, something like that. Got all these dirt games, never played them. Dishonored on my list, never played Doom, but it's also on my list. There's a new one that recently came out, so Dragon Age Inquisition. That is going to go into the good category for me. Haven't played through all of it, but from the brief time that I spent playing the game, I thought it was pretty fun. Combat was fun. Story seemed to be pretty generic, honestly, but like, you know, these types of games, it's more about the adventure aspect, I think. So, but you know, I compared it to playing Dragon Age Origins, which I think is also on this list, and Dragon Age Origins is just had more of a developed story, better characters. Even the combat I felt was like a little bit better. You know, different era of game, I suppose you could say. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Today we're just running through all of my favorite video games of all time and ranking them based on this grading scale that we have here, you know, so should be a fun time. Okay, so where were we? We are in the D's. I'm gonna skip through Dragon Age Origins. Should be around. Is this it? I think this is Dragon Age Origins. I thought that was good. I'll put it as pretty good. Only because I haven't finished it. I actually got burned out from playing it because it's very story driven. And sometimes certain games can really just like exhaust you with the exposition, you know. Sometimes it's a little bit too much, I would say. But that wasn't even the issue for me. The reason why I'm not going to put it into perfect is simply because the gameplay combat becomes very repetitive after a while, because it's like one of those strategic, like, you pause the game and you make a decision type of games. And every time you go into a room, you get ambushed, right? So you can see where the repetitiveness really comes into play. It just constantly, people are coming in and attacking you from all sides and putting you at a disadvantage. So, but you know, it was definitely first of its kind. But you know, this is all my personal preference. But I haven't insulted any game so far with boring, bad, or trash. So I think I'm being quite fair. No game has been labeled trash yet. Not yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel very passionately about one of these games and call them trash, but only time will tell. Okay. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. Oh, you already know where this is going. That's going into the God tier, and that's probably just me speaking from nostalgia. But I remember playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 on my PlayStation 2 with no memory card because my mom had bought me a PlayStation 2 but didn't know that I needed a memory card, neither did I. And so I would just constantly start the story from the beginning over and over and over again. But I have such fond memories of playing that from when I was like 13 years old. I'd come home from school and I'd run into my room and start playing Budokai 2. And it was an interesting like game because the story was basically like you would walk around a board and encounter people on the board, and then you get into a fight. And it was like a side scroller fight type of thing, like Tekken or Street Fighter. And I just played that game for so many hours. And I think like a lot of the reasons as to why these games were so fun when we were kids is because we also played them with other people too. I remember me and my friend like playing this at my house, at his house, and we just had a really good time. So I have nothing but the best of memories from Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. So that's got to go into the God tier just because of that. So then we have Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Then we've got some other game. I can't tell which one it is. This is the Budokai, first Budokai game. I'm going to put that as perfect, because as good as it wasn't as good as Budokai 2. I can't put it in good conscience into the God tier category, but it was definitely perfect for what it was giving us. Dragon Ball Z for the win, indeed. I cannot say enough things about Dragon Ball Z and how much I love it. I'm a huge fan of DBZ. I'm like a walking encyclopedia of Dragon Ball Z stuff. So we have Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3. That's gonna go into the perfect tier as well. I like Tenkaichi 2 a little bit better. I think Tenkaichi 2 I would put into the God tier category, because Tenkaichi 3 kind of basically just took out what Tenkaichi 2 did well, which I thought was like the level system, where you would actually level up your character. Tenkaichi 3 took that out, so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I still thought it was a great game. I don't know which of these is Tenkaichi 2. I cannot tell. I'm going to assume it's this one. So let's just say this is Tenkaichi 2. That goes in the God tier category because it just did everything perfectly, I think. It recreated the entire story. You got to level up your characters. There was a sense of progression there. And it went all the way to GT. So you had a huge roster of characters. So I can't say enough good things about it. And then we've got another Dragon Ball Z game that I don't know what it is because they didn't like take the picture properly, so I'll leave it there. We've got Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2. Both of these games I played briefly, and I put them as good, just because I didn't play them too much. I know they should be a little bit higher, but I wasn't able to play enough to say perfect, you know, or God tier for that matter. I think the idea of creating your own character and fighting throughout history against some of the most iconic characters is a great idea. It's awesome. But I think like there's something missing. I don't know what it is. You know, like there's something that's missing from these games and I can't quite put my finger on it. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to offend anyone. If you're a big fan of those games. Dragon Age 2 I've never gotten a chance to play. Dying Light I've never got a chance to play. Euro Truck Simulator, never had a chance to play that one. Fable I have played through the whole game and I thought it was, I'll put it as perfect game. It does a lot of things that RPGs I think should do more often, or should at least try out in their games, and they don't. One of the things is that what you wear, your haircut, whether you have, I think, tattoos, all of these things have an impact on how characters look at you. So you might put like, a certain haircut, and it might increase your attractiveness level with people, or it might increase like how scary you appear. So things like that, I think, add to the game's sort of atmosphere, and I wish more games would try doing things like that. I'll also say, like, I thought that the atmosphere was really good too, and the sense of progression was there as well, because you kind of start off as a kid, and by the end of it, as you get stronger, your character just starts bulking up and gets larger and looks older. You have an age and everything. So I thought it was a cool little, like, just the little things, the little bells and the whistles that really make an RPG stand the test of time and make it really fun and replayable. So where are we at here? I've never played Fable 2 or Fable 3. Fable Anniversary, I guess, is kind of like the same thing, isn't it? Fallout 4, I will put that as perfect. Honestly, I know a lot of people don't want to agree with me on that, but I thought Fallout 4 was a great game. Maybe because it was the first Fallout game I played. No way you put Odyssey at good. Do you disagree with me, good sir? Do you think it should be higher or lower? or perhaps trash? I was what I had said is I never finished it, right? So if I only have played for a little bit, I have to go based off of my most recent experience, right? So I can't automatically label a game one way or the other if I don't have all the information. So this is based purely on my own experience. But yeah, Fallout 4 was, to me, perfect. I started playing it during the beginning of the pandemic. And I think that kind of added to the atmosphere for me a little bit, definitely added to it. So I enjoyed it. And then I played New Vegas, and I was like, oh, okay, New Vegas is actually a lot better. So I can see they started taking stuff out. I didn't have a point of comparison, but I still think Fallout 4 is good for what it is, Let's continue, shall we? What else we got? What else do we got? Here's Fallout 76, obviously. That goes into the God tier category. That's a no-brainer. I don't remember where I got up to. I think I almost beat the game, but I think Fallout New Vegas is like one of those games where you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can run around and kill whoever you want. And I mean, I don't want spoilers for a game that's over 10 years old, but I killed one of the main guys just by walking to his camp and just blowing his face off. It was that simple. And yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can be a good guy, a bad guy, etc. It doesn't even matter. So I thought it was a fantastic game, is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, where are we at? There are so many. Maybe I overdid it a bit with the amount of games. Fallout 76, yeah, that's, I think, I don't want to say it's like trash, but it was bad. Like, it wasn't very good to me. Maybe it's better now, but I just don't like when you take these RPGs, these single player RPGs, and you kind of you try to turn them into an online game. It becomes like not the same thing as what it was, So I didn't enjoy it. I'd rather, I was playing 76 and I was like, I'll just go play Fallout 4. It's the same thing, except I don't have to worry about people bothering me, trying to troll me or whatever. So, plus, there was no NPCs around. It's weird. Very, very weird. Cool. What else we got here? There's another Fallout 3. I have not played Fallout 3. I actually have it. I got it in a deal What the hell is this? Dark Souls 2. Okay, just making sure. I thought that was Sekiro for a second. I have Fallout 3 in Steam, sitting in my Steam library. I just have not been able to dust it off. The hard thing about, like, just being an adult is not having all the time to play games that you would like. Between my job, Twitch, YouTube, it's like I have 3 jobs. I don't really have time to play all the games that I would like, you know? So I've just been playing Dead by Daylight for the most part. But yeah, let's resume. Okay, so we've got a bunch of Final Fantasy games, and I cannot tell them apart. I haven't played a lot of them, but I know Final Fantasy X I will put over here. I thought it was a fantastic game. I just don't remember it enough to put it into God tier. I'm going to be very, very conservative about what goes into the God tier. Gotta have some integrity. But Final Fantasy X was cool. You play as Titus. You have a ball that you throw on people's faces. You know, like, what more could you ask for? And I just like Final Fantasy in general. So, but I can't tell which these are, so we'll have to skip them. They should have, like, done a better job of, like, doing these images. I think this is 14. Is this 14? I think it's 14. So Final Fantasy Online, I think that's God tier. I have over 400 hours in it, so it's like that's more than most games that I play. Most games I play, I don't even approach 60 hours, so I think that speaks for itself. The best MMO on the market right now is Final Fantasy XIV, so if you want an MMORPG, this is the one that you should try. It's much better than World of Warcraft, I promise you. If you don't like the whole anime aesthetic, you know, then maybe it's not going to be for you, but I think it's good despite that, right? There's a lot of things in the game that I myself find kind of annoying. Like, you've got cat girls and shit, and I think that's kind of stupid in my opinion, but you learn to look past it because of all the positive things that the game brings to the table. So, but that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Bunch of FIFA games that I've never played. Forza Horizon, I played one of these. Horizon 4, what's the most recent one? I think it's Horizon 4. That one was good. I thought it was good. I think it's like, if you're looking for a chill driving game, like, you can't really go wrong with this. But for me personally, it's like, okay, but then what? You know, like, okay, I drive around and stuff, it's cool, but you know, there's not really much else to it. You can race and stuff and collect cars. So, you know, I think if you're like a car enthusiast or you like racing, then this would probably be a little bit higher for you. But for me, it's like the whole idea of racing games kind of lost their novelty for me once I became a little older and I started to like fighting games more and stuff like that. I used to play a lot of racing games as a kid, but that may be why it doesn't really have that same shine for me anymore. But by no means is Forza Horizon 4 a bad game. Like, it's a very good game. If that's what you're looking for, you can't go wrong. Is Kingdom Hearts down there? That's a great question. Let's see. I mean, they have so many games. I would hope that they have Kingdom Hearts. Let's take a look here. There's GTA. There's... did they not put Kingdom Hearts on here? Of all the games that they could have, like, not listed, these are already in the T's. This is the G's, the H's. Okay. Yeah, apparently they didn't, which is a damn shame. Let me just mute myself real quick. Ambulance went by. Yeah, that's weird. Why is it not on here? Maybe I'm just missing it. Yeah, doesn't look like it's here. Super strange. Of all the games they could have omitted, they decided to omit Kingdom Hearts. So, okay. God of War. There's a bunch of God of War games. I've heard nothing but good things about God of War, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So, I have not been able to really, you know, play it, so I can't say. But, you know, I haven't heard bad things about the game at all. So, definitely on my list of things to play. I'm gonna skip through all the Ghost Recon stuff. Never played it. Oh wait, there's Fortnight, which I have played. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's just the same category as Apex Legends, right? It's like a battle royale type of game. Not my cup of tea. Thought it was fun for a little bit, but you know, not really something that I would play unless I didn't have other games to dive into. So some people might not like that, but it is what it is. Cool. So bunch of Ghost Recon games, and then we get into the GTAs. GTA 4. I recently replayed it. That is definitely God tier for me. Probably because I'm in New York City, but I like the whole Liberty City sort of environment. I like Nico as a character. I think he's, perfect. I think I just knocked my camera over a little bit. Move it closer there. Okay. I think Nico is a great character for GTA. So really enjoy playing as him. I felt a certain connection with him as a character, and I just enjoyed the story and the atmosphere of Liberty City a little bit more than Los Santos and GTA 5. So I think GTA 4 is better as a video game, overall. I think it's a better GTA game, and just a better game overall in terms of story, characters, etc. That's just my opinion. And then we've got a bunch of other GTAs here. San Andreas. This is probably my favorite GTA game, I would say. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is, to this day, still has the largest map of all the Grand Theft Auto games, because it came out on the PS2, so the hardware requirements were far less, I think. I might be wrong, but that's what I remember. And this takes place in San Andreas, obviously, but the California area, but the state of California. So you're going from city to city throughout the course of the story, playing as CJ. He's part of a local street gang, getting into all sorts of trouble and making his way up in the world. And the story, I think, is even better than 4. So if I had to rank them, San Andreas is probably higher than 4. 5 is under 4. Vice City, I don't know where I would put Vice City. I really liked Vice City. I have fond memories of it. It was the first game I played, so I really want to put it into God tier as well, but I don't think I can put it there in good conscience, because it's not as good as San Andreas or 4, but I think the setting was really good. And it was the first Grand Theft Auto game that I've ever played, so I do have a certain soft spot for it, but I think San Andreas just took certain things from Vice City and made it so much better. So that's all I'll say about that. And then we've got GTA 5, which is right here. One of the most successful games, or the most successful game in the franchise, I believe, at least from a money standpoint. And I'll put it in the perfect category, because they tried new things, right? You get to play as 3 characters now instead of just the one. So in a lot of ways, they did everything right, but they also took things out that I really didn't like. So for example, in GTA 4 you could eat, you can hang out with people. In 5 you can't do either of those things. In San Andreas you can work out and change your body type. You can't do that in 4 or 5. They took certain things out, and that always rubs me the wrong way when they do that. So that's why I'll put it as perfect instead of God tier. So we've got a bunch of I think those are all the GTA games. I'm getting lost. This list is massive. There's GTA 2 and 3. Never played those, so I can't comment really. And I never played Halo either. You'd be surprised to know. I did play one of the Hitman games, but I don't really remember much about it, so I can't really rank it because of that, though. Horizon Zero Dawn, never played it. Injustice I played like briefly, but can't comment on it too much. We've got a bunch of games that I've never heard of. Left 4 Dead 2, never played it, but I've wanted to. Last of Us, first one. That's obviously got to be God tier. That goes without saying. Never played the second one, but the first one was a masterpiece in like storytelling and cinematography. So you really can't go wrong by playing that game. But I thought The Last of Us was fantastic. Great story, fun gameplay. You know, they took the whole zombie apocalypse story, which at that point, I think it came out around 2013 and it was already being beaten into the ground. I think they took that and really just kind of made it, you know, somehow made the story more personal and impactful than just a typical zombie game. So, you know, and it was like a story between, you know, a man and a man who had lost his child, and you know, leading a younger girl in this zombie apocalyptic world as a father figure, trying to, you know, show her the way, and you know, seeing his daughter and her and all that stuff. It's a very human story, and I think that's what makes it so good. Yeah, that's that. What else we got here? I am in the H's, I believe, something like that. The J's, the K's, the Harry Potters. I actually recently played Harry Potter Lego. Yeah, I recently played Harry Potter Lego with my sister. I don't know which one it was, but I think it was this one. Believe it or not, I actually played this. I thought it was okay. Like, I'll put it as okay, because like it's not my thing, you know. I played it just because like it's something she wanted to do, so I said okay. But it's, you know, I would have much rather preferred an actual Harry Potter game than a Lego version of it, but you know, it is what it is. Mario and Sonic Olympics, never played any of these. Mario Kart 64. Of course, we're going to put that in the God tier because nostalgia. Nostalgia speaks loudly, does it not? And I have a lot of fond memories of playing Mario Kart 64 as a kid, and a lot of Mario games for that matter. But, you know, really enjoyed Mario Kart 64. I still play Mario Kart today. You know, Mario Kart 8, I think it is, for the Switch. So, cool. What else? We've got Mario Kart 7, 8. And then there was one for the Wii with the Wii. That one I think is also like, I put that in God tier because that one was really good because it was the first Mario Kart game that came out that started to add maps from other games, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought, you know, if you compare Mario Kart Wii to Mario Kart 7 and 8, you know, the maps are not as good, from, you know, in my opinion. I thought Wii had much better maps. So it's because of that, like Maple Tree Way comes to mind, right? Like that to me like made the game better than the other two. But the other two are still good, right? 7 and 8. I could put 7 and 8, you know, in the perfect category here. And here's 8. As infuriating as online can be, you know, it's still a really fun, really good game. So I'll put that there. We've got a bunch of Mario Kart games that I haven't played for like the DS and stuff. So I'd be interested to know like who put this list together. And they're like, oh yeah, let's put all the Mario Kart games, but like fuck all the other games. You know, just like fuck all the other Mario games that have come out in history. Let's just put Mario Kart games and that's it. No Super Mario 64, no, you know, Super Mario for the NES, like none of that stuff. Just fucking straight up just Mario Kart games, Mario Kart Tour, I don't know what the hell that is, and then Sonic Olympics. Like if this doesn't go for too long, I'd love to find like another list and compare another list tier maker thing and see. But yeah, Mass Effect, I have heard fantastic things about Mass Effect, but I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. I think I'm able to play it for free on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken, so it is on my list because I've heard fantastic things about the game and the story, and I like sci-fi and the RPG genre, so it makes sense that I should play it at some point. Then there's a bunch of like games that I've never played before. A lot of these I've heard of, some of these I've never seen in my life. Others are, the pictures are just blech, you know. Monster Hunter, I played that for a little bit. I thought it was okay. I mean, it kind of just feels like a shittier version of Dark Souls, to be honest. So it's not really something I like. I would rather just play Dark Souls, you know. I know that this game is very popular, so you know, some people may not like this decision here, but you know, it's my list. Welcome everyone, welcome. For those of you just tuning in, today we are going through all of my favorite video games and ranking them in order from God tier to trash, as they have so eloquently described. So I hope that you'll join me this evening as we just chill out and talk about video games for a little bit. So yeah, that's all I can say about Monster Hunter. Let's go down. Bunch of Metal Gear games. I know it's crazy that to say this as a gamer, but I have never played Metal Gear Solid. I know it's like a sin, but just sometimes you just miss a game, you know, and that's kind of what happened to me. Alan says, I think you'd personally love Mass Effect. Yeah, I think so too. It's one of those games where I'm just like, yeah, I know I'll love it, but I just haven't gotten around to playing it. And I don't mind that, because to me it's like, okay, well, at least I have something to look forward to with that, you know. And there's like 3-4 different games, it looks like, so I'm excited to play them, you know. Like I have something to look forward to in the gaming world. So it's like a treat that's in the distance, you know, over the horizon. But yes, I agree. I definitely think that I'll like it a lot. Can't wait to try it. Okay. We also have like Mafia, the Mafia games. I played Mafia 1. I don't think it's here. Again, whoever made this list was like Mafia 2 and 3, but fuck 1. We're not putting it on this list. And I really liked Mafia 1 because it was like GTA, but like in the 1920s, you know. And I know that they recently remastered the first Mafia game, and I've been eyeing it, and I want to play that pretty soon as well. So we'll see. As I mentioned, all of the Metal Gear games, never played. Mortal Kombat, I played like one, but I don't remember it too well, so I can't really rank it. I've played Minecraft for a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna have to put it in God tier. It's not even like my cup of tea necessarily. I think it's a lot of fun, but I think like in terms of like what Minecraft has accomplished and what you can do in the game, I think it's pretty spectacular. You know, it's like you basically have a sandbox that you can play in. Like I think it goes without saying that the game's success is like completely warranted based on what you can do in Minecraft. Even I can acknowledge that, and I only have like maybe 30 hours in the game, mostly because I just end up getting bored eventually. But you know, that's because it's just not, maybe it's not my personal taste to play something like that for too long. But yeah. I just what I did, Alan, is I just Googled like for this particular thing. I Googled like top video game tier maker, and I was looking through a bunch of different like results to find the one that had the most games. But in terms of like if you want to make a different kind of list, yeah, you just go to tiermaker.com and you'll be able to create your own list if you want. If that's something that you want to do, you can do that as well. So like someone made this list with all of these games and such. I was gonna make my own, but I just didn't have enough time. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's gonna go God tier, obviously. That's a great game. Haven't finished it yet, but from what I have played so far, I mean, it takes place in like Bohemia, which is basically like Czech Republic. So for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like my cultural heritage in a way. I am from like Czechoslovakia originally, so for me it's like the first game that takes place in kind of like my cultural background, so I thought that was pretty cool. And the RPG aspect of it is just fantastic as well, including the sword fighting. You know, it's very tactical and quite difficult, but makes it very rewarding. Again, as I mentioned earlier, like the whole RPG storytelling kind of burns me out over time, so I take breaks and I go play games like Dead by Daylight. But that does not mean this isn't a good game. I just have to be in the right frame of mind at the time. So, but yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance goes in the God tier for show. For show. Alright. So we're in the K's right now. We are in the K's, Killzone, all of these. Metal Gear Solids, bunch of Naruto games that I've never played, because I've never watched Naruto. I was always more of a Dragon Ball Z kind of guy, but I do want to watch Naruto at some point. But since I haven't played any of these games. Then we have Mount and Blade Bannerlord 2. I played 2, did not play Warband. I thought 2 was pretty good. I had fun with it. But it's like in a beta state right now. You know, like it's not quite finished. It's awkward. Like you walk into a pub and it's quiet. No one's talking. It's weird. So the game's not finished yet, but basically if you don't know, Mount and Blade Bannerlord 2 is you command an army and you have like these epic like battles on the battlefield of like 500 plus guys fighting it out, you included, and you get to command your own army and conquer other armies and such, so it's a lot of fun. But this particular game is kind of in a weird unfinished state so far, so I'll put it as pretty good. Let me go back down here and see what else we got. And like I mentioned, I haven't played Warband, but I know that people said that it was practically a masterpiece. So I'll take their word for it, but I can't rank it, obviously. Bunch of Naruto games, some puppy games, Nintendogs, S tier. That's God tier right there. You know, Nier Automata. I actually have this on Game Pass. Haven't played it, so I'm just gonna put it in don't know. These are like games that I want to play. So, I'm just going Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds was really fun for me. I think it could have been even better if they had like made the game a little bit longer. It felt kind of short, but basically Outer Worlds is essentially Fallout in space. You know, you go from planet to planet and you go through the story, get into gunfights, complete missions and quests and all that stuff. A lot of fun. Outer Worlds 2 is coming out, so I hope that they'll improve on the first game, but I thought it was a fantastic game. Fallout in space is like, you know, or Elder Scrolls in space if you haven't played Fallout. What more could you ask for, really? Can't ask for much more, I would say. So we've got a bunch of like basketball games I've never played. Pokemon. Okay, we are at the Pokemon games. Well, I don't know what the hell this is. Pokemon Blanche? I've never played that in my life. Was this like Let's Go Eevee? I can't really tell. We'll go with, yeah, I think it's like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. That I played for a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was bad. Like, I didn't like it. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, I think it was. No, that wasn't it, right? That wasn't it, Chief. That's not Pokemon right there, dude. Like, you catch Pokemon, but you can't battle them. Like, what? Come on. Like, what is this? Like, that's like Pokemon Go when they introduced it and you couldn't like battle. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, come on. You can't do this to someone who's been playing this game since he's been like 5 years old, you know. Pokemon Red. We've got red here. I'm looking for blue. I don't know if I see it, but we'll just say red and blue, right? That's God tier stuff right there. I mean, like, it has to be, because that's where everything started, you know, like one of the most successful, you know, handheld games in history, and you know, defined a generation for a lot of kids, established their childhood. How could you not put Pokemon Red in God tier? I mean, and yellow and blue and all of those versions, but for a lot of us, this was like our introductory course to video games, and, you know, managing different things in a video game, like your Pokemon, their level, whether they're poisoned or not. So, Alan Z, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. I've been enjoying your content for 4 years now. It's a good time to tip a creator whose content is the perfect mix of relaxation and creativity. Well, I really appreciate that, Alan. Thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in tonight. I hope that you can hang out for a little bit longer. This is going to take a little bit of time, it seems like, because there's a lot of games on here, but we will go through as many as we can. At least I'm planning on finishing the list. And, you know, if we have more time, I'm planning for go for maybe like another hour or so. So like a total of 2 hours. So if we finish this list, maybe we'll jump on another one. We'll see. But I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's resume. Oh, here we are. Pokemon Gold. I thought Silver. I played Silver. I did not play Gold, but I'll just say Gold and Silver. I actually put that in God tier as well, because I thought Gold and Silver, for me, was even better than Red and Blue. That's the game where I spent the most time, because I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I was young when I played Red. You know, like, I'm talking like 90s, right? So I was like 6, 7. By the time Silver and Gold came out in the 2000s, I was already like 10 or 11. So I was a little bit older, and I was able to appreciate the game a little bit more and play. So for that reason, I think Gold and Silver have an even more special place in my heart with that whole second generation of Pokemon. So I thought it was awesome. I'm here for now. This is a great way to relax after work. I'm going to start working on the list myself too. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, and feel free to, you know, share some of your favorite video games as well. Always welcome. Let's see what else we've got. We've got Pokemon Ruby. And I'm going to put that as... That was a good game. But it was like, you know, by this point, they were kind of reusing the same formula, I think. But I still think the story was decent enough, and the Pokemon were still interesting to me. So I'll put that there. Oh, all the Mario games are down here, by the way. Remember what I said earlier? Like, where are the Mario games? They decided to put Super Mario and Mario Kart in 2 different areas. So that's fair enough. Fair play. Okay, Pokemon Y. Here's Pokemon Y. I'll say it was boring. I won't say it's bad. It was just boring for me. It was the first Pokemon game that kind of transitioned into like a 3D sort of like landscape for Pokemon games. So that was pretty cool. But overall, there just wasn't anything special about the game beyond that. You know, like the story was meh. The gameplay was the same as usual, so that's fine. But like, you know, nothing really about it that stands out to me. So I have to put it in the boring category. It wasn't bad though, so I won't say it was bad. Bad and trash are kind of the same thing, also, by the way. I just have to say that. I just have to point that out, you know? I think the person that made this list was like having a bad day. They're like, you know what? Trash. Trash. That's a category. Trash. By the way, Pokemon Blanche, I'm going to assume this is Pokemon Black. In a different language. So Pokemon Black had probably the best story from what I remember. But I'll put it in the perfect category because I don't remember much else besides the story. You know what I mean? Like, the story was very good, but in terms of the Pokemon and the towns and the music, like, none of it really stands out to me. But the story was very good. So it is a good game. But like, it needs to be, like, when you compare this to Pokemon, you know, Gold and Silver and Red and Blue, total packages. And this is just one slice, you know? This is like a buffet. This is kind of just one meal. That's kind of the best metaphor I can come up with for that. So, all right, we've got a bunch of like Prince of Persia games. Never played those. There's Overwatch. Let's take Overwatch. I've played Overwatch. I have an Overwatch hat, as you guys have seen. I think it's a good game. You know, I think it's a good game. But again, these first-person shooters, they kind of like get boring after a while. Although I will say one thing that Overwatch does that's cool is that they give you special powers for your, you know, the person that you're controlling. So that's pretty cool. I would put Overwatch over like Fortnite or Apex Legends, you know, and most of the Call of Duty games today. Like, if I have to play Call of Duty or Overwatch, I'll probably play Overwatch. You know, unless I'm in the mood for like Warzone or whatever. But yeah, bunch of Pokemon games. Prince of Persia, never played. Rage, never played. Rainbow Six Vegas, have not played. Ooh, Resident Evil 2 Remake, that I played, and that I am putting in the God tier because I just love that game. I don't know what it is about Resident Evil 2. You know, Leon as a character, when you think about it, he's kind of milquetoast, kind of generic, but I love him for some reason, you know? I kind of think Leon is a very lovable character, and I think the game itself is fantastic because when you think about Resident Evil 2, and the remake, it really is a throwback to the 90s. I mean, it makes sense since the game originally came out in the 90s, but the way the story is told is there's not that much exposition. You kind of learn the story yourself, you know? There's brief cutscenes here and there, but you go through the story and, you know, you read little notes, you read emails, you put the pieces together of what's going on based on the clues that you're finding, and I think that's a fantastic way to tell a story. And of course, the gameplay is a lot of fun, and there's the horror element where zombies and monsters are jumping at you, which is always a good time. So Resident Evil 2 Remake goes in the God tier for me. Alan says that his favorite games are Outer Wilds, Persona 3, Silent Hill 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Bloodborne, Majora's Mask, Disco Asylum, Silent Hill 2, Metal Gear Solid. So that's a quite hefty list, and I've been Persona 3 is actually on my list of games to play next. I played Persona 4, and I don't know if it's on this list, but Persona 4 would be God tier for me, for the record. But I've heard very good things about Persona 3, so I want to play it. Silent Hill 2 I've not played, but I think I watched a Let's Play of it, of a YouTuber that I really like, John Wolf, and, you know, that's a lot of fun. And I thought the story was very good, too. Great atmosphere, you know, that horror atmosphere in Silent Hill, like, you can't really beat it. And I would say like Disco Asylum. That's a game that I think it's a action RPG, right? Or not an action RPG. It's turn-based strategic RPG, kind of like Dragon Age Origins, similar to that, but in like a sort of like a cyberpunk sort of environment, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, cool. But yeah, let us resume here. What else do we have? More Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 3. I never played it, but I watched a Let's Play of it because I heard it was very short. I thought it was okay, honestly, from what I saw. Nemesis is probably the thing that stands out the most, but like, in terms of the game itself, is like kind of you know, like, it didn't really seem like it offered that much compared to Resident Evil 2 in terms of atmosphere, gameplay, and characters and such. So that's how I feel about that. We've got Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. I played 5 for a little bit. I don't remember too much, so I'm not going to like list it. There's Biohazard. I watched a Let's Play of that, so I will comment on Biohazard and I'll put it in the perfect category. I thought Biohazard was good because it kind of like innovated the Resident Evil series, you know. It turned it into like a full-fledged horror game, which was like one of the first times they've done something like that, I think. So I thought that was pretty cool. Hell yeah, the Resident Evil 2 remake rocked. They kept so much of the magic of the original, but made big improvements for playability. I played that game at least 4 times. Well, that's very cool, Alan. That's more than I did for sure. I played through it once as Leon, and then I started playing as Claire, and then I just ended up watching a Let's Play because I just was like, I didn't have the time. But you know, I still think that game is fantastic, masterpiece nonetheless. There's just, you know, a reflection of my patience more than anything and my lack of time. But yeah, let's see what else. Red Dead Redemption 2 and the original Red Dead Redemption. So I'm gonna take Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's gonna be God tier for me. And I don't remember how I felt about Red Dead Redemption 1. I don't remember. Put it in perfect, because I think it was really good, but I don't remember. I remember I enjoyed it, but the second Red Dead Redemption I have fresh in my memory, and that was just a fantastic game. Like, from the story to the gameplay, like to the crisp, like you're walking on the grass and you can kind of just like hear the sound of the grass crunching and shit. Like, it was just like a cinema masterpiece, shall we say. But that's all I'll say about that before I ramble on for too long. We still have like a buttload of games that we have to comb through here. So I have yet to see a game where I'm just kind of like, no, this game is trash. The closest I've come to is Fallout 76, and even that I was kind of like, meh. Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, and then we've got the original Street Fighters, which I don't remember too much. I don't remember if I played 4 or 5. I think I played 4. I thought it was okay, you know, like, like for me, it's like these fighting games kind of like are all the same at this point. So it was fun, but like I didn't play it too much, you know. So, I'm not gonna put it as like a masterpiece, you know. Shadow of Colossus. That I don't remember. I played it, but I don't remember. So I'm gonna put it there. But I know a lot of people think that game is a masterpiece, so I don't want to insult it either, because I don't have like a direct opinion there, because I barely remember. All I remember is I was trying to I had to rescue some girl that was kidnapped or something like that. I don't remember too much though. I don't know what these games are. I've never seen them in my life. StarCraft, I never played StarCraft. Stardew Valley. That's going into the God tier. You already know. Stardew Valley innovated in a lot of ways. I think it's just Stardew Valley is the perfect game to play to relax if you want to de-stress after a long day. What more could you ask for? You know, what more? Welcome everybody. I see some people just jumped in. Today we are going through all of my favorite games and ranking them according to my preference. So I hope you'll stick around and enjoy this relaxing session as we talk about some video games and just chill. But yeah, Stardew Valley is a fantastic game. You basically inherit a farm from your grandfather and manage the farm, but there's also an RPG story element where you go around and you talk to different people in the town and befriend them, develop relationships. Each character has their own story arc. It's a awesome, nice little game to play. Has a lot of charm and personality, especially because it's 2-bit. It has 2-bit graphics, but it still delivers in a big way. And you can also fight if you want. You can mine, chop trees, do all that stuff. So, got a tier for that, I would say, personally. Bunch of games I've never seen in my life there. State of Decay 2. I've played that briefly. Oops, I lost it. I got it on Game Pass. Where is it? Here it is. I got it on Game Pass, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty good. I put it in the pretty good category. The reason it's not higher is because it kind of gets repetitive after a while, but basically, in State of Decay 2, what you're doing is you're managing a community of survivors in a zombie apocalypse. So think of like The Sims, but for like The Sims and The Walking Dead had a child. This is this game, basically. You know, you create your own character, or you can take on an existing character. You meet survivors, you can add them to your community, you manage your community, things like water, power, food, medicine. You go out for scavenging missions, you know, to get food and supplies, kill zombies in the process, meet other survivors and either recruit them, fight them, whatever you want. Your survivors can die, so if they die, you know, they're dead permanently. There's no, like, you know, restarting the game. It's a lot of fun, actually, but the problem is it's repetitive. You know, after a couple of hours, you've kind of done everything in the game, and it kind of just seems like the same thing over and over again. So that's the thing about that, but it's a lot of fun, and I know State of Decay 3 is coming out soon, so I will be checking that out as well. Oh, we're getting closer to the bottom, which is good. All right, here we are. Let's see. We've got a bunch of Super Mario games here. Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers U? I don't know. The original Super Mario Brothers. This one's over here. Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy. I'll take the original Super Mario Brothers. Obviously, it's going to be God tier. It's historic, you know, like a lot of us started playing video games with the original Super Mario for the NES, you know, platforming, side-scrolling, jumping on Goombas and whatnot, so how could you not give that game the credit where credit is due? You know, and the rest of these games kind of fall into that same category, right? 2, 3, and then you've got a bunch of remixes that I don't think I've ever played. I don't know. I think I played the one for the Wii, but I don't remember, to be honest. I think I played the Wii one with my sister for a little bit. It was okay, you know. It just kind of felt like they didn't really, you know, they were trying to cash in on nostalgia, shall I say. But it was decent enough, right? We got Super Mario Galaxy. That was a great game. I will put that as damn near perfect. I think the Mario games are innovating, you know, most of the time. You know, they're always trying something new, like Mario Odyssey, for example. And they somehow are able to stick to the formula that we all know and love, but also like give us something a little bit new and special that sticks out. Like they don't destroy the formula, they just make minor adjustments to give you something, but they don't mess with the core formula, you know. Yeah, that's New Vegas. I know it's hard to tell because these pictures are kind of like weirdly cropped, but Fallout New Vegas is god tier for sure. I also was pretty liberal and I put Fallout 4 in the perfect category. I know some people might not feel that way, but I thought it was good. But yeah. Okay, we are still in the Mario section here. Super Mario Galaxy 2. I think I beat that game, but since I barely remember, I'm going to put it as good, but I don't remember like too much about it, so that must mean it didn't stick with me as much as it should have, right, compared to the first Mario Galaxy. So we also have Super Smash Bros, the first one, and Brawl. So I am going to take the original and put it up here because we all remember Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. 1 second. Okay, I think I went by. The trouble with streaming is there's a lot of like noise sometimes and I can't cut it out. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. The original for the N64. I think this is the one. I think it is. That one is god tier to me. I spent like so many hours as a kid playing the original Super Smash Brothers. It's still fun to this day, you know, so it's a perfect game, I would say. I thought Fallout 4 was a lot of fun, but pretty stupid at the same time. But games just need to be fun. Yeah, I can see why you would say that. The story, like some of the dialogue was kind of weird, wasn't it? And like voice acting for the main character in an RPG like that is kind of strange as well, because it takes out your ability to kind of project yourself or the character that you have in mind onto who you're playing. If you haven't tried, I would recommend trying out Outer Worlds. That's a game that's pretty fun as well. It's made by Obsidian, which is the company that made Fallout New Vegas. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. We've got a bunch of Rainbow Six Vegas games. I think I skipped all the Sims stuff, by the way. And I was going to talk about that too. I must have missed it. Got Sims 2, Sims 3, and Sims 4. Sims 2 and Sims 3. I think Sims 2 goes... I've played Sims 2, yes. I'm going to put Sims 2 in God tier. And I'm going to put Sims 3 in God tier. And I'm going to put Sims 4 in... Where's Sims 4? Sims 4, Sims 4, Sims 4, Sims 4. Here we go. These games are competing against each other, by the way, not necessarily against like other categories, right? Just because like Sims 4, Sims 4 is not there. Sims 4 is pretty good, but it's not nearly, I'll put it as good. Just because I have Sims 2 in God tier doesn't mean it's anywhere near Fallout New Vegas or, you know, San Andreas or The Last of Us. You know, it's just that like I'm referencing it in my mind as how good I thought the game was versus others in the franchise and, you know, in general, my level of enjoyment. The reason I think Sims 2 was God tier is because they did little things that other Sims games kind of stopped, right? Like you're eating a piece of pizza and the pizza like has a little flap. There seems to be this chemistry that characters have. It feels alive. To that point, Sims 3 has an open world, right? Like you get to walk around and the world kind of like moves on without you. If your character's not doing anything, people form relationships and do other things, even without your input. Sims 4 kind of took that away. Even though it has nicer graphics and it added stuff to the game, it removed a lot. You know, people don't have relationships unless you use a mod. People will just get older and die, and that's it. It's kind of weird, you know, and just they take stuff out and make the game look nicer, you know, which leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I will leave that there. And that's the Sims stuff. Just had to bang those out real quick because they're all kind of like, you know, don't want to spend too much time on The Sims, but I have played a little bit, so I do have an opinion on those games. We got Super Smash Brothers for the Wii, the Brawl, and then Super Smash Brawl, and then Wii, and I can't tell the two apart. And then there's one for the Switch as well. I think might be the same thing, but I don't remember. Brawl might be the newest one, but I can't say for certain. So I've somehow never played The Last of Us. It's a good game. It's a good game. Like, the story is fantastic. It's a masterpiece in storytelling, and the gameplay's fun too. So I recommend it highly. But yeah, I'll leave these Super Smash Brothers here since I don't really know. I can't really tell them apart. So I play both, and I don't know. So we'll leave them there for now because it's getting crowded up there anyway. But I do like both. Super Smash Brothers Brawl and the one for the Wii. At least I remember having fun while I was playing those. So we've got a bunch of Star Wars games that I've never played. I have played the Star Wars Online game, but I don't know if it's here, so I can't say. A bunch of Tekken games. I've played Tekken 3 when I was a kid. I remember that. Tekken 5 I played. Tekken 6, Tekken 5, I had a lot of fun playing with my friends. So that goes into the good category for me. Actually, I'll put it as pretty good, you know. I had a lot of fun playing Tekken. I enjoyed it more than Street Fighter personally. So I would rank it above Street Fighter for sure. There's nothing more fun than seeing your friend explode with anger as you pin him into the corner and just like spam the same move over and over again. It's good stuff. It's hilarious. Cool. What else we got? There's more Tekken games, but like they're all kind of the same for me. I haven't played some of them, so we'll leave those alone. Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, and Elder Scrolls Online. Okay. We're getting into like danger territory here with like the ranking system, so let's start with Skyrim. God tier. All right. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Perfect. Okay. I hope no one's blood pressure is going up. I hope everyone's blood pressure is okay so far. I'm just messing with you. I just wanted to see if anyone would be like, they're typing their comment right now, and now they have to backspace because I was just kidding. Elder Scrolls Skyrim, obviously, I don't think I need to talk too much about Skyrim. Everyone knows what an awesome game that is. It's been the most successful Elder Scrolls entry into the series, obviously, since they keep remastering it. You know, it's literally been 10 years since the game has come out. You know, it's basically like GTA 5. It seems like it's destined to keep coming out forever, and we're never going to see the next entry into the series. But you know, Skyrim is a fantastic game. There's tons of mods that add replayability to the game. I still jump into it every now and then. Morrowind, I think, is God tier because it literally is like you have a lot more freedom in that game. You feel a lot more immersed in the world, and they make you do shit that you don't do in other games, like walk from one place to another instead of fast travel. You know, you get to join specific guilds, and you have to actually work your way up in these guilds. Obviously, it's very dated with the graphics and stuff. So, but I think you have to judge it for the game itself. You know, judge it according to when it came out in that time. So, Oblivion I put as perfect just because when you rank it versus the other two, I don't think it's as good as the other two, but that's just my opinion. I still think Oblivion's a really fun game to play, nonetheless. But it's like that awkward middle child, you know, in my opinion. So if you say something bad about Morrowind, I'm going to have to unsubscribe. I don't make the rules. Yeah, I know. I think for good reason, right? Morrowind is a fantastic game. It does everything right, and a lot of people have been wanting a remastered release, and I know that they're actually releasing a bunch of like programmers are working on a release of Morrowind. I think they're calling it Skywind. So look that up if you're interested. They're basically taking the Skyrim engine and they're putting Morrowind into the engine. Since Bethesda seems like they're never going to give us, you know, another game aside from Skyrim ever again. So I will be looking out for that when it drops. It's taking a while since it's being made by a bunch of people who are passionate about the game, but it's in their free time, obviously. So it's gonna take a while for it to come out naturally. So Elder Scrolls Online, I will put that in the perfect category as well. I have over 500 hours in the game, obviously. I think it's a fun MMORPG. If you rank it against other MMOs, it doesn't do some things as well, like dungeons and stuff, but I think it is an MMO where you can actually just play it as a single player RPG if you want. There's a lot to do in the game. You can collect houses, outfits, you can work on your build and stuff. Basically, honestly, the game should be God tier. The reason I don't put it in God tier is there's one simple reason, and it's that the builds do not feel very distinct from one another. So you can basically play your character however you want, but the problem is you're always going to end up defaulting to the meta because every character can wield whatever they want. So if you play as, let's say, a sorcerer, you can be a magicka sorcerer, which means you use a staff, or you can be a stamina sorcerer, which means you use a two-handed sword, which is the meta. You can't, you know, get crazy and do like, you know, sword and shield if you want, or you know, whatever else. And so what ends up really happening is, to be efficient in the game in dungeons, you have to kind of rely on the meta, and all of the characters and the classes end up kind of feeling the same. So that's why I can't put it in the God tier category, for that reason alone. Don't forget about the deep lore in Morrowind. It's such a strange alien world that's so well fleshed out. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes Morrowind stand out to me. It's like, it feels like it's on a different planet, and I think that's what makes it so, you know, appealing. And the lore is, because it's essentially, it's like a book, because you have to read this, there's no voice acting, and that kind of, you know, really puts you in the story and in the game, I think. So you placed this before, but before I got here, question about Dragon Age Inquisition. Did you play the last DLC for it? No, I haven't finished the game at all, actually. I started it. Where did I place Dragon Age Inquisition? I don't even know where I put it. Did I put it in the good tier? Yeah, I put it here because it was fun while I was playing it. But I did not finish. I think I got like a quarter through the game, and then I kind of just was like, okay, I don't really have time to keep playing right now, so I'll come back to this later. And then I started playing Origins instead, and I enjoyed that a lot more. But it's, you know, something that I'll get back to at some point, and eventually the DLC too, I imagine. All right, bunch of these games that I've never played. There's a lot of games that I have played that are not on this list, by the way, which is weird, but you know, it's not my list. So The Witcher Wild Hunt, obviously, I don't even need to think about it. That's God tier. You know, what more needs to be said? It's The Witcher 3. Like, everyone agrees that this game is fantastic. So yeah, that's all I can say. You know, everyone knows that's a gamer. Where's Cyberpunk, by the way? I have some words for Cyberpunk. I don't see it on this list, but That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I haven't played these games. I played I started playing the first Witcher a little bit. Didn't play it too much. I think it's just the age, but I thought it was a little bit awkward. You know, for me, it was awkward. Probably because it's dated, right? But there's something weird about the game and the combat. The combat system was kind of what threw me off. So I'll put it as pretty okay. I've not played The Witcher 2, so I can't comment on that. And I've not played Daggerfall either, or Arena, so can't comment. And I know this is going to sound surprising to people, but I've never played any of the Tomb Raiders. None of them. None of them. None of them at all. I want to hear your words for Cyberpunk. Okay, so here's what I'll say about Cyberpunk. I thought Cyberpunk was a lot of fun. You know, like, I enjoyed the game thoroughly. I really did, but I feel like they tried to make the game something it wasn't. They marketed it to be this, like, next-gen open-world game that was going to blow away even GTA. You know, like, I was expecting to go into the game and feel lost in the world for hours. And instead what we got is a weird series of glitches and bugs and a lifeless open world that kind of just feels like it's more of like, you know, background art than anything else. So they really dropped the ball with that. You know, like, it feels like the game should have just been a single player, like, roller coaster game where you go from cutscene to cutscene, you know, completing missions. I don't know why they tried to make it an open world, because the open world is dead. There's nothing there, you know. And you know, you can look up videos comparing like all of the Grand Theft Auto games versus Cyberpunk, and you'll see what I mean. You know, even games from like 20 years ago, comparing like Vice City or Grand Theft Auto 3, comparing that to Cyberpunk, and how the code and the AI works. You know, people in Cyberpunk just act completely like moronic. You know, you take out your gun, you point it at someone, and they just grab their head and they crouch. You know, why would they do that? In GTA, they run away, right? Same thing when they're in the car. You know, you point your gun at someone in GTA and they're in their car, they'll like get out of the car, run away. They might drive into you, they might drive away, they might back up. In Cyberpunk, they just sit there like this, just staring at you blankly, like they're waiting for a piece of code that was just never added. But yeah, that's my rant for Cyberpunk. It's not on this list, but that's what I would have said. So that's all I can say there. I went into the game, Alan says, I went into the game with zero expectations because that much hype is a bad sign. I thought it was a ton of fun, but with so many bizarre design decisions and so many glitches for a game delayed 100 times. Yeah. And here's also what I will say about that, right? So as someone who works in the corporate world, in a corporate job, I know I can surmise what happened in this at CD Projekt Red. Most likely what happened is the devs were pressured into getting this game out before it was ready. And marketers and, you know, the finance bros at these companies were like, well, we need to market this because it's going to get more money. It's going to make us more money. We need to release it now. The devs were like, well, it's not ready, but we need to release it now. And that's what leads to all of these delays. A lack of understanding between what it takes to design a game of this kind of, like, a game of this caliber, and people that are focusing purely on the financial aspect of it, you know? And then finally we get to 2020, after the pandemic, during the pandemic, and, you know, it came out around Christmas, right? So, like, think about like that, right? Got all these people that are focused on money, focused on quarterly earnings. It's the end of the last quarter. Let's get this game out before Christmas. We're going to make so much money. Devs say, hey, it's not ready. We need some more time, maybe April. Let's just get it out because we want to hit that Q4 goal. I think that's most likely what happened, is that people that are focused on finance, they just don't understand how difficult it is to program and make a video game like this. So I think that's really what happened behind the scenes. I imagine a lot of people at CD Projekt Red probably quit after that as well. So, yeah. And I work for a big company. I won't say which one, but like, you know, these things happen. Like, people are focused on money, and they're not necessarily concerned with quality. You know, they're not really thinking about that. So, Tomb Raider, haven't played. Total War. These are some of the games that I want to play. Like these, like sort of like military strategy games, like Crusader Kings, which I love, but it's not on here. But I have not been able to get around to it yet. Total Warhammer 2. I played that for a little bit, but I didn't really play it too much. I'll say it was okay. I know it's controversial. I just thought the game was super fucking confusing, honestly, to me. Like, there was very little explaining on what needs to be done, but it was fun. And it's just someone like me who doesn't have that much time. I wasn't able to really think about the game too much. So it might also not be my cup of tea, right? But, you know, very little was explained for me. But I wouldn't say it was boring or bad or trash. It's just maybe for me it's not the right game, you know? So we are towards the bottom of the list now, guys, and we're approaching some weird ass games like Tropico 3. Maybe this is like a popular game. I have no idea. I've never heard of it before in my life, so I don't know. We've got all of the Uncharted games. Uncharted 2, 3, 4. The first one? I can't tell which one's the first one. I know I've played for first one, the second one, and the third one. So I will just take the collection as a whole. This is my opinion on all of the Uncharted games. I thought they were pretty good. As a whole, right? If I had to separate them amongst like the different games, the first one might be like perfect. But it's a fun game to play, decent enough story. It's fun to climb and, you know, solve puzzles and stuff. But you know, beyond that, it's kind of one of those games that like it doesn't stick with me for too long, but I enjoy it in the moment. It's fun. Also, Infamous isn't on here, which is one of my all-time favorite games, you know? It's a little disappointing that they didn't have one of my favorite games of all time is not on here. They have so many games, and yet they missed the ones that I love and hold near and dear to my heart. Until Dawn is a story-based game. I've never played Undertale, by the way. I know it's crazy, but I've never played it. Until Dawn is like a cool story-based game where you make decisions and the story progresses. I didn't play it myself. I just watched it on YouTube, so I don't know that I should necessarily rank it, but I would probably put it at, you know, perfect or good. Oh, we got the Warcrafts. Here we go. World of Warcraft. Where's World of Warcraft? I don't see it. Here's World of Warcraft. Is this World of Warcraft? It just says World of Warcraft, but let's say it's World of Warcraft. Where do we put it? Okay, well, it depends on which game you're talking about, right? I could probably do a whole list of just World of Warcraft expansions. Where do we put World of Warcraft? I mean, if we're talking about World of Warcraft today, it's going right here. If we're talking about World of Warcraft overall, I'd have to say it's like, it's a good game overall. You know what I mean? Like throughout the years, we'll put it in okay, in good. You know, it's a good game. It's going in a direction that I don't think there's any coming back from. You know, like Final Fantasy Online is a much better game, but if we have to rank World of Warcraft, we'll put it in good overall, right? Across the sands of time. Avery Stone, thank you for the $20 super chat. This is my second alt account. I've maxed my donations on my main on other alt. Mind you, the max donation is $500. Well, thank you very much, Avery. I appreciate it. I like donating to smaller streams. Well, I think that me and all of the smaller streamers appreciate your generosity, because, you know, we put in a lot of effort just like the bigger channels, and the algorithm likes to really like, no one understands the algorithm, right? No one gets it. I still don't understand it, and I think it's changed like 20 times since I've started. So it's hard to like understand how to like get in front of it and get my videos suggested, which is why I'm starting to live stream more. I feel like maybe it'll help, you know. Let me put myself on full screen actually. I think if I live stream more, it should help with the algorithm, because I've been trying a lot of different things and my growth has been very slow. So I'm like, okay, let me try live streaming and have some audience interaction and see if that helps with the algorithm. Because the thing is, when I go into my analytics and I check suggested, very little of my views come from suggested, which is, if you don't know, if you've never had a YouTube channel, most people find their success through suggested videos. So they get recommended on the sidebar and they just pop off and get a lot of views. Most of my views come from people seeing it on the homepage, subscribers, and searching for it via keywords. So that means YouTube isn't really recommending my videos. So I've been trying different things to see what happens. But Avery, we really appreciate it. I promise you that. So thank you very much, and I hope you've been enjoying the stream so far. Alan says, you reviewed Infamous in one of your early role plays, and since then I've kept thinking, should I play that? Yes. The answer is yes, you should play Infamous, because it's one of the best games of all time, and I don't say that lightly. I know I'm generous, you know, like I've been pretty generous so far with this list. I think like I'm a pretty nice guy when it comes to this stuff. Nothing has been in the trash section yet, but Infamous has a fantastic story. Superhero origin story. Takes place in, I don't remember what the city is called in the game, but it's basically New York. So I like the New York environment for video games, even though I live here. I don't know why, I just do. But super good game, highly recommend it. And Infamous 1 and 2, so there's a sequel as well that's also very, very good. Wolfenstein, Wii Sports, Watch Dogs, all games that I've not really played. I think I played Wii Sports, but I don't remember, so I don't know, you know, I don't know. Well, despite this slow growth, we're all glad you're sticking with it. Maybe we will see Cyrus again one day. Oh yes, yes, yes. Here's the thing, right? Let me just talk about that real quick. When I started, I had this idea to create my own universe. The Traveler universe, where Cyrus goes from parallel universe to parallel universe. And the idea was like, it was so open that I could like insert all of these little stories into it and have fun with it. And that would create some, you know, cool videos for role plays. But the cool thing about live streaming is that we could, use live streaming as a way to create a new aspect of this universe where we have a interaction, you know. For now, the videos will be kind of like this because I don't know how many people will show up and whether there'll be too much interaction, you know. But in the future, you could do like, Cyrus checks in on a fallen comrade, you know, to heal him, you know, and it's like kind of like a caring friend roleplay type of deal. If there's interaction, there's a possibility for that to happen live, you know. So there's ideas that I have. I just have to see if it's something that's feasible within the live streaming sort of context. We've got all these total wrong games I talked about. I talked about the Uncharted stuff. I talked about Wolfenstein. I played Wolfenstein very briefly. I like the World War II stuff. I'll put it as good. That's Wolfenstein 2, but you know what I mean. It's Wolfenstein, the first game. I don't know. I think it might be this one that I'm trying to look for here. So let's drop that in the good. I never played 2, so I'll take that out. But for me, I have always been a huge, like, I won't say fan, that sounds weird, but like I've always been very fascinated by the whole World War II period. I think it's one of the most interesting periods of history. There's really nothing like it. So this game basically explores, like, what if the insert the baddies won World War II, right? And you get to play as an American soldier that wakes up in the 1960s, I think. He has a concussion in World War II, and it lasts for about 15 years, I believe. And so he wakes up in the 1960s, and he's like, wow, they won. And you kind of have to navigate through that landscape. Never finished it, but I think it's a good game from what I've seen so far. And the story, and all that jazz. So, this is kind of random, isn't it? WWE 2K19. There's like 1,000 wrestling games, and they went with WWE 2K19. I think I played it, but every wrestling game is kind of the same for me at this point, so I'm gonna drop it in here. I'll be honest with you. Boring. My favorite wrestling game of all time is Here Comes the Pain. I would put that in God tier if it was on this list. But you know, it's not, so it is what it is. Boop, 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 boop. XCOM I haven't played, and I will say something that people might find controversial, but I've only played like the first, I think I played one Zelda game in my whole life, and I think it was just the original. And I'll drop that here because obviously it was, you know, a historic, legendary game. Fantastic. But I've only played one Zelda game in my whole life, and that's the only one I played. So, and I remember just walking around into people's houses and smashing pots, and it was good fun. So, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think, and you know, I've been very generous, guys. Like, I have not put anything in the trash category so far. This is everything. This is everything. Yeah, and like I said, crazy, but I've not played these other Zelda games. So that is all of the games we've combed through. I think I can go for another 30 minutes. So if you guys want me to do another list, I can do that. Let me just pull up. It will be video game themed, since, you know, I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well as a video. But if you guys have a particular preference within that context, drop a comment and we can kind of do that. I don't know if there's like another video game tier list we can do. Let me see here. Super Mario games, controllers, we've got Stardew Valley characters, Street Fighter, Assassin's Creed, Danganronpa V characters, Overwatch, Call of Duty games, greatest video games of all time. This might be kind of more of the same. I don't want to like rehash stuff either. 100 ultimate game protagonists, that could be good. I'll put that there. Persona 5 characters. Let's see here. World of Warcraft expansions. Okay. I am thinking we go for another 30 minutes and we do World of Warcraft expansions. What say you? I think that might be good. There's Resident Evil games, Nintendo game tier list for all franchises. There's that. But that's a lot. And it's like, they're all kind of the same to me, so I probably won't do that. Let's see here. Maybe, yeah, I'm thinking World of Warcraft expansions might be good. And then there's another, okay. I've got another, like, another video game list here as well we can comb through. And then we can do the World of Warcraft expansions to cap things off. This list is smaller, so it won't take us as long to do. Awesome. So we'll end the night with the World of Warcraft expansion. But before we do that, let me share my screen and show you guys this, because this one actually has Infamous. So I'm a little bit excited. Let me put this into presentation mode. Here we are. So check this out. Shorter list, so it won't take us long to do this one, but we've got, where is it? It was right here. I saw it. I saw Infamous. I know that I saw it somewhere. Here it is. Second Son, First Light. It was around here somewhere. I lost it. Oh, look, it's Cyberpunk. Okay, well, this is going to be controversial, isn't it? All right, let's just start from the top, shall we? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It was okay, you know? It was okay. Whatever. It's kind of the same thing. You play one Call of Duty game, you've kind of played them all. So, Call of Duty Black Ops, though, that was amazing. I had a lot of fun with Black Ops. Played a lot with my friend. And have a lot of fond memories. As I mentioned, it had a zombie mode, which is a lot of fun. I always loved that stuff. GTA 4, masterpiece. I'm half Serbian. Niko Bellic is Serbian. So I love Niko Bellic as a character. I think his story of coming to America for a better life is a very inspiring one. So it kind of touches me on a personal level, I would say. I haven't played Syndicate. Black Ops 2 I have played. Black Ops 2 is okay. Just a rehash of the first Black Ops. Let's be honest, nothing crazy. Call of Duty World at War, it was okay. Meh, whatever. I like the World War II atmosphere, as I've mentioned, but nothing crazy. Lost Ark, it was okay. Nothing crazy there. You've got Call of Duty 1 and 2. Haven't played. Five Nights at Freddy's. Haven't played, but I like Five Nights at Freddy's. I watched YouTubers play it. But it's one of those games I personally probably wouldn't play. So, haven't played this. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It's okay. I never played that. I never even heard of this game. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. I have not played this because I didn't have a PSP at the time. And I know it came out on the PSP. So I regret not having the PSP at the time because I love Grand Theft Auto. One of the things about me is I love the game. Just like to relax and play that. So Half-Life I have not played. Assassin's Creed Pirates? I didn't even know that was a thing, but I haven't played it. Apex Legends is okay. Assassin's Creed, first one is a masterpiece, obviously. Black Flag, I have not played this. Have not played this one. I don't even know what the hell this is. What is this? Is this Call of Duty 3? I don't know what this is. Cold War. It wasn't that great, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy it. World War II. I don't even remember if I played that. Modern Warfare, the first one, masterpiece. As I mentioned, one of my favorite Call of Duty games of all time. Have so many memories of playing with my friend in the late 2000s. A lot of fun. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, never played it. Grand Theft Auto 3, I played it. I thought it was good, but I don't remember too much of it. I am planning to go back because me and my sister are going to replay all of these games. We're going to replay Vice City, we're going to replay San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 3. So this might change, but from what I can remember, it was good. but not great. Modern Warfare 2, I thought that was great. Not as good as Modern Warfare 1, but was still really good. Fall Guys. It's not for me. Let's just put it that way. I thought it was like, you know, a flavor of the month kind of game, shall we say. Red Dead Redemption, we will put as amazing. You guys already know my thoughts about that. I talked about it earlier. I don't know what this is. Half-Life I haven't played. Mario Kart 7. Thought it was okay. Infamous, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Masterpiece. Infamous is a masterpiece. It's absolutely a masterpiece. Best game I've played in a while. I don't know if I would say it's the best game of all time, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. So that's all I can say about that. San Andreas, obviously, masterpiece. Masterpiece. Far Cry 2, have not played. Battlefield 2, have not played. Mortal Kombat, I haven't played. Haven't played. Five Nights at Freddy's, haven't played. Assassin's Creed 2, haven't played. Let me just skip all these. Then a bunch of like Final Fantasy games. I can't even like tell what versions they are. So I did play. Let me skip through this then. Super Mario 64. It wasn't on the other list, strangely enough, but Super Mario 64 is a masterpiece. I think we can all agree on that. Rust I haven't played. Terraria. I played Terraria for a little bit. Thought it was okay. Maybe I just haven't played it enough, but to me it was like, it didn't really have any sort of like sticking power to me. So, Second Son. This is the third game in the Infamous franchise, and it just really wasn't as good as the original. You know, they changed the character. It just kind of like left a you know, dry taste in my mouth, shall we say. First Light, I don't think I ever played it because it was an expansion to Second Son, and I was kind of like, I didn't really like Second Son too much, so I wasn't gonna waste money on First Light. Resident Evil 2, you guys already know, masterpiece. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I've been having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. I like the whole Viking vibe, so I think it's a good game. Titanfall I've never played. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, just bad. As you guys already know how I felt about that. The fact that you can't battle wild Pokemon, like, no thank you, no thanks. Pokemon Sword and Shield I have not played. Mario Kart 8, I think it's a good game. I'll probably put it as good. Can be a little bit frustrating. I thought the Wii version was better, but still a lot of fun. So Super Mario Party, this is for the Switch, I think. It's okay. The reason it's okay is because they took out so many. They didn't take anything out, I should say. They didn't put anything in. There's only like 3 or 4 maps. It's very small. So, you know, I'm of the generation where I was playing Super Mario Party on the N64, and there was like 8 maps, you know. So I don't like the fact that they didn't put too many maps, you know. Super Mario Sunshine, I've been playing that recently. And I've been enjoying it, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me anyway. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I will put that as good as well. It's kind of the same thing. Fun, but you know, the Wii version had better maps, I think. And Overwatch, it's a good game. Have fun with it. World of Warcraft, again, put it in good because this is overall, and we'll get to the expansions in just a moment. Battlefields I haven't played. Star Wars Lego I've not played. I'll skip through the Final Fantasy games because I don't remember which ones I've played. Red Dead Redemption 2, as you guys know, masterpiece. Skyrim, masterpiece, obviously. Cyberpunk. This list has Cyberpunk. I'll put it in okay, just because I did enjoy the game, but it fell flat of expectations so badly that it should be like bad. But I don't even know if they've patched everything that was wrong with it, but I don't know. The Witcher 3, masterpiece, of course. So Grand Theft Auto 5, amazing. What else we got here? Interesting choice of games, I have to say. Infamous 2, also a masterpiece, by the way. Right next to the original Infamous. I recommend Infamous 2 as much as I recommend Infamous 1. Infamous 2 takes place in, I think, a place called New Marais, which is basically based off of New Orleans. So, an interesting environment for a video game. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Amazing. Amazing. Did I miss San Andreas? Oh, I put it in masterpiece. Okay, that makes sense. Tetris, yeah, masterpiece, obviously. I don't even know what I would put where I would put Tetris. Super Mario Galaxy, I think that one is masterpiece as well. League of Legends, never played. Minecraft, I'll put as a masterpiece. Super Mario Odyssey, I think was amazing. I played it with my sister, had a lot of fun. So it's not purely nostalgia, you know, because this proves it, right? Like, I had a lot of fun with Odyssey. My favorite map was the New York map, New Donk City. That was pretty cool. I think that's it on this list. A lot of this is just rehashing what we were talking about the previous hour or so. So that is a much cleaner list, I would say. Hey, Sion Williams, what's up? He says, hey, I really enjoy your Traveler Universe videos. Yes, we were talking about that earlier. I'm really glad you enjoy those videos. One of the things we were talking about is how cool it would be if we could do a live stream where we have, you know, characters from the Traveler universe like Cyrus interacting with the audience. And I have a couple of ideas of how that can go about, like, you know, taking care of a fallen comrade and stuff like that. So I think that would be really cool. But we'll see, you know. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now let us move on to the main event, the main course for the evening. We are 2 hours in, and we will end the night with this. Let me just put the presentation mode on so you guys are not blinded by this. And we are going to end the night with a ranking of all the World of Warcraft expansions. I think it's appropriate. I think it makes sense. And I think that, you know, a nice little way to cap it off, shall we? Most of us have played World of Warcraft at one point or another, and, you know, we have varying opinions on the game as it stands. Personally, I think the game currently is hot garbage, trash, if you will. Final Fantasy Online is far superior of a game, and even if you want to play something for free, Elder Scrolls Online is also much better. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. But I do acknowledge that World of Warcraft as a game in general has been a huge success, and it's a good game if you look at it overall, you know? Overall, is this sort of stuff inspired by Back to the Future and the Terminator? I would say, hard to say where I got my inspiration from. It is a little bit of that, but more so, I used to watch this show called, I forget what it was called exactly, but it was from the 90s, and the main character would jump from parallel universe to parallel universe, he had this ability. I don't remember how, but he would be able to visit alternate universes where different things happened, like Russia taking over the US, for example. That's partially where I got my inspiration from. And another area I got my inspiration from is actually another ASMR YouTuber. You probably know him. His name is Ephemeral Rift, and he has like something he calls the Riftverse, where he has all of these different characters. So I got some inspiration from him as well, while trying to put my own spin on it. Obviously, his production quality is much higher than mine, but I try to do my own thing. The hard thing is, right, when it comes to this traveler stuff, is that it is very difficult to get the algorithm to rank those videos, right? Because, like, how do you label them, right? Like, if you get too creative with it, the algorithm just completely shits on it, and you're not able to get ranked and get views. So I'll put, like, you know, a haircut video that's secretly part of the Traveler universe, and I'll just call it like haircut roleplay, you know, robot haircut roleplay or whatever, just to try to game the algorithm a little bit. But it makes it a little bit challenging because of that. But yeah, that's kind of where my inspiration came from, a combination of those two sources. I forget the name of the show. I don't think it was called Traveler. It was called, damn, I wish I could remember what it was called. I'm gonna look it up right now just so that I can, you know, ease my curiosity here. TV show where parallel universes travel. This is how I Google, by the way. So, Sliders. The show is called Sliders. So, this is the show. It's from the 90s. It's about a boy genius and his comrades travel different parallel universes trying to find their way back home. I never finished it. Actually, this reminds me I should probably get back to this show and watch it because I was enjoying it. But yeah, I think there's like, I don't know how many seasons there are, but this is partially where my inspiration came from. Looks like it ran from 95 to 2000. So, but yeah, let's get this list done for World of Warcraft to cap off the night, and then we'll call the stream. I hope you guys have been having fun so far. Let's begin. So here we have World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. D. There is no F category for some reason. I don't know why, but let me just fix that for them, shall we? You know, I'm going to just change this to F. There we go. F. We can add a row, you know. Let's add a row above. I don't know why there's no F category, but we'll add a row and we'll call it D. That's what we'll call it. There we go. Battle for Azeroth F gets a big fat F. Goes Battle for Azeroth because, well, I mean, the game was just dog shit, let's be honest. Although I did like some of the areas. I had fun in those areas and the music was good, I think. But yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm glad I was able to talk to you on your stream. I believe you as an ASMR artist is way underrated. Your creativity is my favorite part of your videos. Well, awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. You know, I've been doing this since 2017, and obviously I think I've proven, you know, that I have consistent quality videos, and I'm glad that people like you appreciate it. You know, that's the reason why I keep making these videos, because I know that there's people that enjoy it. You know, if it wasn't for that, I would have stopped a while ago. And I know a lot of ASMR artists, they end up quitting. They end up, you know, just getting bored of it. But for me, I started making videos in 2017 because it was creative. I think I'm at the point now where I make these videos because I know people enjoy them. And I like to just, I feel like I'm making a little bit of an impact in the world by making these videos, you know? I'm helping. I'm giving back more than I'm taking from the universe, if you will. In my own small way, I'm making a small little ripple in the universe, you know? And this live streaming thing is just the next stage of that. So that's kind of how I see my ASMR channel now, in its current, stage of life, if you will. But thank you, I appreciate it. I completely agree, Sion. The creativity is the best part, but still very relaxing and not weird like many others. Yes, that is a good point. I won't mention channels, of course, but I do think some people, they are very, very creative, but they forget that the purpose of like ASMR videos is relaxation, right? Like, you have to be in a nice in between relaxing and creative. You can't, if you go too far off, it makes people uncomfortable, like, I don't know, mean role plays. I never understood those. That's kind of weird to me. Like, I don't think you can be comfortable when someone's being mean to you, for example. How do you fall asleep to that? I don't know. Or like, the sexual stuff. It's weird. I don't get how people sleep to it. So I've always tried to be creative, but also maintain some sort of like element of comfortableness with my audience, where I assure them that, hey, you're not in any danger. This isn't like a weird sexual thing. This isn't creepy. It's just me being a regular guy trying to help you relax. That's all it is, So, World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth, F. Legion, I thought Legion was an A. I had a lot of fun with Legion. I enjoyed the artifact weapons and such. So, I had a lot of fun. I used to play with my girlfriend at the time, so I have a lot of fond memories of us playing together. We're not together anymore, but we played, Legion. That was the expansion that we really got a feel for World of Warcraft. I used to play before, but I didn't really get into the meat of the game until Legion. And Draenor was what we started as, but that was kind of like, I would give that a C. I didn't like the world or the atmosphere. It's kind of meh for me. Dark and gloomy. Didn't care for it too much. Obviously, Wrath of the Lich King, I'm going to put as an S tier. And the reason being is, even though I did not play WoW when it came out, when I played through the story, I thought it was the coolest part of the game because of the Lich King and Dark Knights. Not Dark Knights, Death Knights, right? Is that what they're called? Dark Knights is from Final Fantasy Online. Death Knights I thought were the coolest class. And I thought it was so cool to just be able to play as the bad guy, for once. Not like a pretend bad guy like the Horde, but actually be a bad guy. So I just thought these edgelords were super cool. So for me, Wrath of the Lich King gets S tier all the way. All the way. Then we have the original World of Warcraft expansion, S tier as well. One of my favorite parts of World of Warcraft is just the very beginning of the game. When, I always play human because of this, because I love starting in Elwyn Forest. And walking around Elwyn Forest and getting a feel for the atmosphere and everything around it. The music, the simplicity of it, just killing boars, killing wolves. It's kind of like, that's what I remember as a kid playing, RPGs and MMORPGs, just the simplicity of it, of being a no-name, nameless adventurer, starting out in the world, having to kill, like, small-time enemies in order to get started. That's what I have fond memories of when it comes to, RPGs and MMOs in general. Burning Crusade, I would put it as A tier for me. I like Blood Elves. I mained the Blood Elf for a couple of years, actually, because my ex-girlfriend at the time wanted to play Blood Elves. So I can't say anything bad about Blood Elves, but I don't know too much about the Burning Crusade expansion beyond that. So Panda Boys I'll put as a C. I think the world's interesting, but to me it's kind of like nothing beyond that, Cataclysm I'll put as a B, but again, don't know too much about Cataclysm. These are kind of like the main four that I can really speak to, and then Battle for Azeroth. Isn't there one that's missing? Shadowlands, right? Where's Shadowlands? It's not here. But if I had to rank Shadowlands, I put it as a D or a C, honestly. That's the latest expansion. there's nothing about it that's particularly interesting to me. You know, it's like whatever. Final Fantasy Online just does everything better. So that's all I can say about that. World of Warcraft, I think, has really fallen off recently. You know, what was once a fantastic game has now fallen from grace, and people are looking to alternatives. You know, all you have to do is go on Twitch and see people are watching Final Fantasy. You know, streamers are streaming Final Fantasy. People are making the move to play that instead of World of Warcraft, just because they're tired of getting screwed over by Blizzard. You know, and then you hear all this controversy about Blizzard and what's going on within the company, and people are just like, no, I don't want to give them my money anymore. Too much controversy. So, yeah, that's all that I have today. Let me make sure I'm in focus here. Come on, focus on me, camera. Camera. Okay, there we go. That's all I've got for tonight, guys. We are 2 hours and 26 minutes into the stream. I am hungry, and I want to go eat something. WoW's plot has gotten worse every expansion. Final Fantasy's plot started strong and keeps getting better. Yeah, and that's another thing, right? World of Warcraft's story, no one knows what the fuck's going on, because you have to read the books in between the expansions to understand the story. If you don't, then you're not going to know anything about the story, because they fill in the gaps in these books, which is ridiculous, right? Like, I read the Wrath of the Lich King book, and it was a fantastic book, but it should be in the game, right? They shouldn't make you go off and buy extra shit. That's part of the reason why no one knows anything about the story. But to that point, part of it is, it just seems like they're kind of winging it as they go from expansion to expansion, right? It's money first, story later, gameplay later. And that's why the story just keeps getting worse and worse with every expansion. Whereas with Final Fantasy Online, it's like the story is crafted from start to finish. It's like, well, they have an end point in mind. You can tell, right? There's going to be an end point eventually. And when that happens, Final Fantasy Online will transition to, you know, Final Fantasy 21 Online, or whatever the number is. They're going to release the next game. But when it comes to World of Warcraft, it just seems like they have to keep going. You know, they have to keep thinking of shit that doesn't make sense to keep the story going, so they can make another expansion and take your sweet, sweet monies, basically. But yes, Final Fantasy 14 story is much, much better. There's very, very little comparison. Characters are better. There's voice acting, obviously. You get to be a central part of the story, right? World of Warcraft does this weird thing where you defeat the boss and then someone else comes and takes the glory for you. It's like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. That's all I can say about that, my friends. I am gonna go eat something. This stream will be available as a VOD later on, obviously. I hope all of you that were able to make it enjoyed yourselves and had a good time. It's been my pleasure, and as I've mentioned in the previous stream, I am going to be streaming more often. I will still upload videos, of course, but I want to try this whole streaming thing out, see if everyone enjoys it and enjoys, you know, interacting and just watching me live. Even if you're, you know, one of the people watching that's not interacting, that's perfectly okay too. The point of this is just to have, you know, a place for you guys to come hang out if you want, or if you want to put something on in the background while you do something else. That's kind of the goal of this, right? While also trying something new on my end that's creatively fulfilling. So, yeah, I will start brainstorming ideas for the next stream and see what I come up with for us to have some fun, relaxing times. it was great to hear your opinion about games. It's very weird to have a conversation with you after watching your video for hundreds of hours. And thanks for the great live stream. Yeah, I know it can be strange, Alan. I appreciate it though, and that's why I wanted to live stream. You know, like, I'm just a regular dude like anyone else. You know, you guys can come and talk to me whenever you want. And since I'm a small channel, it's even easier to talk to me because there's not that many people watching, right? So there's that as well. I extend my olive branch to you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this. I would honestly go for a little bit longer if I wasn't so damn hungry, but there's always next stream. And also, if you guys want to hang out some more, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Valdar91. In the description box below, I stream Dead by Daylight, and I will be streaming Dark Souls. Tomorrow I will be streaming probably Dark Souls, maybe Dead by Daylight, depends on how tired I am. So if you want to come hang out there, I will also be over there too. So 2 places that you guys can see me if you want. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. You guys have been great. I hope you're nice and relaxed, and I hope you guys have a very, very good sleep. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye.